Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this cute Father's Day card. Father's Day is celebrated in September in Oz and it's this weekend. So to get started, here is what I used. I have a white card base, some white cardstock, I'm using the Happy Hugs, the fox and the bunny that are hugging, and my giant Sending Big Hugs die. I'm also using a range of teal and blue Distress Oxide inks for my background and a little bit of black for my edges. And we can't forget sparkle, so here are my watercolor pigments. There's not a lot of stamping for this card at all today, so I'm just going to very quickly stamp out the cute little fox and bunny who are hugging. Moving on to my background, I have rounded the corners of my piece of white cardstock and I'm going to start inking up. I'm starting with cracked pistachio and I'm going to be moving up to darker colours. I've got peacock feathers, salty ocean, and some black soot just to darken up the edges. I'm using my foam blending tools because I'm finding I'm just having a lot of luck with them lately. They seem to have forgiven me for how rough I used to be with them, and now I'm getting some really pretty backgrounds with them. So while I'm inking up this background, if you're an Aussie, I would love to know, what are you getting down for Father's Day this year? I am, as always, mostly organised for mine and my husband's dad's, but the presents from my little ones to my husband, they are ready to go and they are very cute. So I will make sure that I share some photos of that over on Instagram this weekend. Once I'm done inking up my background, I'm simply going to sprinkle some clean water over the top with my paintbrush. I give that a moment to start drying and to lift some of that colour, and then I'm going to go in with my white gold watercolour pigment, and same as with the water, I'm just going to sprinkle this all over the top. I cut my giant Sending Big Hugs die from some white cardstock, and I've also cut it from some black cardstock, not forgetting to save those little dots for the eyes, as I often leave them in my die cut machine. So what I'm doing here is I'm using two of the colours that I used for my background. I've popped a little bit of each on my mat and watering them down and just simply sprinkling them over the white Sending Big Hugs. As great as the white looked, I always just find it to be a little bit too bright and a little bit too separate from what else is happening in the card. So I find just adding these little dots always ties in things together nicely. So here is that Big Hugs in black, and what I'm going to do here is simply layer them. Using my fine tip glue applicator, I'm just putting a little bit of glue kind of in the middle of these letters. I don't have to go all the way to the edges, as this is going to be offset on my black cardstock. I love the way this looks and I do it quite often. I feel like it really separates it from the background and it adds a bit of dimension without having to do things 3D. I do occasionally use this die with a bunch of foam squares on the back, but sometimes it's just nice and easy to make it look like it's got a lot of dimension and then stick it flat onto my card front. I'm going in with some super simple colours for my fox and bunny today. I've got some bright oranges for the fox, and with the bunny I'm just going to use a really pale cream colour and blend it out with my Copic blending marker. I am of course going to add cheeks and white details to these, but I thought I would just keep it very simple. So here I've roughly cut out this fox and bunny and I'm just moving it around the card to see exactly where I want to stick it so that I know where to glue down my Sending Big Hugs. I decided it would look cutest to have these little characters covering the U in hugs. So I'm going to stick this pretty much in the middle. The thing I love most about this giant die is that it's not set for a particular occasion. Sending Big Hugs could be used for anything. So I've gone back through my stash and I found my Totally Awesome stamp set where it has Father's Day. So it's going to be Sending Big, and then in the middle of the big I'm going to use this black banner with a white embossed Father's Day. So it'll be sending big Father's Day hugs. I love that you can do sending big Mother's Day hugs, or birthday hugs, best friend hugs, happy hugs. There's really no limit to what you can put on that. My husband recently grabbed me an extension cord, so I can now show all of my embossing at the table. So here is my white embossing powder working its magic. Before I add any dimension to the front of this card, I'm going to add my double-sided tape on the back so that I can adhere it onto the card base. And before I stick anything onto my card base, I'm going to stamp my custom stamp on the back of this. This is the first card that I've made that I'm going to be sending out that has this stamp on it, so I'm super excited. Although I did forget that Fawn inks tend to be a little bit bubbly, and that's why I love my stamping platform so much to stamp a few times. So it wasn't the clearest stamp, but it's still super exciting. I remove the backing to my double-sided tape and adhere my card front onto my card base. Now all I have to do is stick on the final touches. I've added some foam squares to the back of my characters and to the back of my little Father's Day banner. And so here I am sticking them on, getting ready to wrap this card up. For one final touch, I'm just adding a few little stars from the Stars and Hearts Skinny Tag die set. And there we have it, this card is complete. I hope the dad that this one is being sent off to absolutely loves it, and I hope you loved it too. If you enjoyed this tutorial, then please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.